the core political debates that reflect the meaning of the First Amendment are at stake here, and yet the justices appeared not to see that. Now, how is that possible? These are very intelligent people, and yet there was a surrealism, I thought, to the hearing about it.
There ought to be some sort of standard in the future whereby people are not allowed to be on the Supreme Court unless they have some vague understanding of the Constitution. I'm just throwing it out there, as a possible sort of standard that we could use in future hearings.
But Jeffrey, do you really think that's it? Do you think that that's the problem, that they don't have a grasp of the fact that the First Amendment is a limitation on government? In fact, that the court's main job is to protect the rights of individuals, even against the people, meaning even against majorities legislating through laws. Is it that the justices don't know that? Or is it rather that they're seduced by things like, you know what? That we have this new technology of the internet. It's not like the old technologies, and we might need to create exceptions to the First Amendment because we're dealing with this radically new thing called the World Wide Web.
Well, I don't know. Last week, if I never would have said that we have Supreme Court justices who don't believe in the First Amendment or understand it, but this week I think we can say that they didn't. Jackson clearly doesn't understand the First Amendment as limitation on government, because she seemed to be trying it, working through it in her head. Wait a minute, if we have this thing you call the First Amendment operating out there, that's I think her words, wouldn't that hamstring the government? I mean, it was like a laugh out loud moment. One thing I would say about this, Dinesh, is that in history, and I'm speaking about going back half a millennium or so, censors have always sought to control the distributors of information because they believe that the distribution sources are the way that the public mind is manipulated and controlled. So, we saw this in the religious wars in Europe, and even in 1798 with the Sedition Act in the United States, they said newspaper editors cannot criticize the president. They went after newspaper editors in 1835 in the South and said, you can't call for abolitionism. And then in the 1860s, even Lincoln went after newspaper editors again